All right, so welcome everybody. I'm Kathryn Ritchie here, and I am excited to have you all join today, whether you're coming from me personally inviting you or another consultant inviting you to come, or you are a consultant yourself. Welcome. Super excited to do our first of many Zooms this is a great platform to do some workshops together. So today we're doing a snack bar workshop. And if you do have any background noise and would like to mute, that would be awesome, just so that we could keep the sound down for the recording. So today, you've either purchased one of these snack bars from either me or your consultant, or you're just making your own snack bars at home with your own trays or pans, stonewares. You can make them in many different products, so you're more than welcome to do it multiple ways, but we have a snack bar maker that makes them very nice for you. And so I've heard from one of you, but I just wanted to get you guys, before you mute, to introduce yourselves to me and share a couple words that describe you in the kitchen. Like, what would be your best description of you as a cook? And if you have kids, how old they are. There we go. We're going to start with that, and we'll start with Natalie.
Hi, everybody. My name is Natalie, and I love to cook and I love to bake, and just most recently got the snack bar maker myself and have tried out some new recipes. So Kathryn was so kind to let me join on today. I want to see what kind of bars you're making, but I've made bars before in it and absolutely love it. So hopefully everybody will love their bar maker too.
Awesome. Okay, Andrea.
All right, this is
Ayla,
Lucas,
Chase,
and myself, Andrea, and also love to cook. Unfortunately, time isn't always on our side, so we're taking advantage of this time we have together to try lots of different cooking recipes and baking, supper, all kinds of stuff. And I thought, you know what, it's a good opportunity for the kids to learn a little bit too.
me too, right?
Awesome. Yay, thanks for joining. Deborah.
Hi there. Just looking forward to learning some great tips about how to use a snack bar pan maker. And we've got a couple little guys here that just are looking forward to watching this video. I've got another toddler running around too. And we're looking forward to seeing everybody and learning tips about how to make them.
Awesome. Thanks for joining. Caroline.
Hi. I actually hate to cook, but I do love to bake. So this is perfect for me. I have two boys at home, 18 and 15. But when I asked if they wanted to come take part in the video, they said nah. So they're out on the driveway playing basketball right now.
Awesome. Thanks for joining. Teresa.
Jalissa. Stop.
Andrea, if you guys could mute, that'd be awesome.
Andrew's not here.
Oh, do you have your mom? We can mute you. It's okay. Yeah, there's two of them.
Right here.
Okay, I'll try. I don't know how to do that. Try.
Okay. Teresa, are you able to chat? If not, we can move on to the next. I'm not sure. It says iPhone. Oh, it moved. How about Sherry? Introduce yourself. What best word describes you in the kitchen as a cook, and how old your kids are if you have kids. Nope. Anybody else?
Lost audio.
Can you
Hey,
guys
Kathryn, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm Sherry, and I have 5 kids, but they're young adults and teens now. I go through phases of liking to cook or not, depending on what's going on. We have a pretty busy lifestyle and everything. When they were little, it's all a blur. Like I don't remember. It was whatever was easiest at the time. Like sometimes it was cereal for supper. So, but I'm becoming more and more of a cook now. So yeah, that's it. It was just mad chaos, and now I'm kind of easing into it and having the time to actually enjoy it more. So
Awesome. Thanks for joining us. Judy.
There we go. Unmute here. I'm Judy. I live in Stratford. I have 3 growing children and 2 grandsons. I have a love-hate relationship with cooking because we have lots of allergies. So snack bars are something that I'm really interested in, and because I'm always looking for new ways to get energy into my kids and myself.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Judy. Brittany?
Hey, I'm not on video right now. Oh, my kids are.
That's okay if you can't, if it's not a great time.
Okay, sorry, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So I have a 1.5-year-old and a 2.5-year-old, and they love granola bars, but like a lot of parents, you know, we worry about the things that are in them. There's a lot of sugars in the ones from the store. So the snack bar maker was something that I bought a couple years ago before knowing much about Pampered Chef. Actually, I absolutely loved it because I can do anything I want in them. So yeah, that's my answer.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Nicole, are you able to share? Okay, Kim or Kristen, and then we'll get it right in. And that's okay if you guys can't. I'm super excited.
Sorry, I couldn't get it unmuted.
Oh,
sorry. Just on here to watch your workshop because I know it's going to be amazing, and it's great to see how to use the snack bar maker and what I can share with others. So
awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining. So this is just one type of show that you can do. It's a workshop, and typically I would do this either in a home, my home, or I've done it in, like, say, a studio. I've done it in a yoga studio. One of my best friends owns her own business, so I've done it there as well with a big group of people, and we've given back as a donation. So there's lots of ways to do workshops. We also do fundraisers. If you can tell which apron I'm wearing, it's Round It for the Heart. So what that means is our Food Banks of Canada right now is in dire need of donations, and you may have known or heard about it from the schools that your kids attend, how much this is a need. And so Pampered Chef is double donating until the end of April right now for anyone that orders. We have a fundraiser that I just closed up, and I'm willing to do more fundraising to give back. Up to 30% goes to Food Banks of Canada. And we have 2 specific products, the Cut and Seal and the Scoop and Spread. That $1 of each of those goes to Food Banks of Canada, which is 3 meals per product. So it goes a long way. So that's another way you can definitely do your Pampered Chef. And oh, we got Kimberly on. That's awesome. Thanks for joining. I didn't expect her. So we also do freezer meal workshops, which I'm looking into doing freezer meal on a Zoom as well. So if that's something that you might be interested in doing, I would like to do that as well. For the next month, I think for sure we're going to all be more housebound. And this is just a great way to kind of get some snacks or meals prepped for your family, give your kids something to do if you have kids. And so just to introduce myself a little bit further, I am Kathryn Ritchie. I've been with the company for 17 years. I just celebrated my 17th anniversary on March 21st, the first day of spring. So I'm super excited to be a part of this company, and they've just celebrated 40th year anniversary in the US. So they got a lot of great things happening right now with Pampered Chef, and so excited to see some of the promotions that they just launched today as of April 1st. So just to get right to it, I'm going to show you a few of the recipes before we go into the one I'm going to make today. So I'm going to just go a little bit closer. So I've pre-made a few. This one is it's a protein bar that a friend of mine actually introduced to me just the other day, and it actually has grind flaxseed in it. So it's not a recipe that I've posted in this group yet, but I will post it so you can try it out. If you don't have flax seeds at home, and like mine were whole, I grinded them in the amazing deluxe food blender that we have. Did it in 2 seconds. But if you don't have flax, you could use hemp seeds, and that's a great energy bar to give. It's fairly healthy. It uses natural peanut butter, or I used almond butter because I love almond butter. And so I'll post the recipe for that one. This one, I've posted the recipe. It's the Eat More Bars, deadly, but my kids are gonna love them. So if you love like like O. Henry bars or Mars bars, like, and you're craving a delicious dessert snack, there you go. And then these ones are completely healthy, based with just fruit. They are a date bar, and so they are also posted in the group if you wanted to see the recipe for that. So there's a whole collection of recipes that Pampered Chef has put together, and I've also added some healthy ones on top of that from the 8-Week Challenge, if you're familiar with that in the Niagara region. And of course, anybody who wants to post recipes that you guys are loving, like this one here, I would love to have you guys post in the group. The Eat More one, again, is something that I've recently been introduced to, and it looks delicious. So I'm excited to show you those three. Today I'm going to make the no-bake granola, just for the sake of not being at the stove. But it's a very simple, basic recipe where you can add whatever mix-ins you want in there. So, all right, let's get to it. All right, so this silicone pan, tray, I should say, is oven safe up to 450 degrees. So if you have one of these, you can actually bake right in the oven with this. The lid is not, so don't put the lid in the oven. The best results are just putting this right on the oven rack in the oven. And then when you take it out after it's cooked, use your oven mitts. These ones are awesome because they're silicone as well, and they grip. So they will grip the tray and grab it right out. And then put it on a cooling rack. Make sure it's completely cooled before you put the lid on it. And then you're good to go. You can also freeze these. So some recipes tell you to actually put this right in the freezer, which is awesome as well, because it's nice where you can just, if you're wanting it quicker than ever, like freezer's a better way to get about it. It says sometimes you can put it in the fridge up to 2 hours, or a fridge or a freezer for an hour. So that's always an option as well. If you have any questions and you want to unmute at any time, please feel free to ask. I've already toasted up the oats. So I've done the large oats in a 12-inch non-stick pan. So they're nice and toasty brown, and you can roast your veggies, oh my word, your nuts, your almonds, your peanuts, cashews, whatever you're going to use as well at the same time as your oats. So I do have some oats already in the stainless steel mixing bowls as well. This one's great because it just grips to the bottom of your counter because it's silicone based, so it's not going to slide everywhere. So I'm just going to toss this in there.
Kathryn?
Yeah.
Are you sending us out samples?
Right? I would love to.
Delicious.
Right? And you're going to be inspired now to go do this yourself, whether you can do it now or not. You're going to,
absolutely.
Next time you're at a grocery store, then you can buy some of these ingredients, or if you're pre-ordering to a grocery store service, have them bring it to you, and you can make some with you and your family at home, right? The cool
Absolutely.
the cool thing about the granola or any snack bars that you're going to make, you know exactly what's going into your food, right? Like I know you can go to Costco and you can buy those boxed bars, and a lot of times it might look healthy on the outside by saying quinoa or hemp in there, but you really want to know what's in your food. And sometimes you don't realize, because the outside packaging of food really misleads sometimes what's good and healthy and what's not good and healthy. So if you are wanting to have a healthier snack bar or protein ball, I did make a couple of those protein balls, and I posted that earlier, like last week. They got eaten up in like 2 seconds, and they were a healthy protein ball that all my family loved. It really makes a difference, and you know that your kids are getting the right kind of sugars by using natural fruits. Really read the instructions on the side, and if you see right away, like one of the first ingredients is sugar, or sometimes the words are like with OUS at the end or something else, I can't remember, words that you just don't even know, it's all sugars. So it really does impact what's coming into your diet and your kids' diets as well if you have kids. So we're just gonna mix that up, and we're gonna add a 1/4 cup of honey. You could do the raw honey or you could do regular honey. So this is just oh, I did this wrong, and this is why it's so funny. So this is our little petite mini measure all cup. Some of you might have the bigger ones, the 1 cup or the 2 cup. This one is the baby one. I love it because it does tablespoons up to a 1/4 cup. And I love it for this, especially sticky ingredients like peanut butter, molasses, sour cream, butter. So we're supposed to put the brown sugar, honey, and butter, which I'm gonna melt now, in a microwavable bowl and mix that up together to melt together. So we're just gonna add a little bit extra honey into here and mix it all three together. Improvise, right? When you make mistakes, the good thing about baking is sometimes you can go wrong with certain things, maybe with baking soda and, baking powder, but when it comes to honey, a little extra honey, it's okay. It's just gonna be a little bit sweeter. And you can just do less of your chocolate chips if you're adding in the chocolate chips. So our easy reads, this one they just came back with, it's the baby one as well. Again, it measures tablespoons up, 4 tablespoons, which is a 1/4 cup, so it will measure up and it shows the ounces, and they are microwavable, which I love. So I always melt the butter in these, and love that they're dishwasher safe and microwave safe as well. So just gonna toss that in there. All right, how are you guys doing over there? Who's all baking? We got 2 for sure. Baking, no, 3. Is it 2 or 3? I'm not sure. So I'm just mixing this up here, and it says to microwave for about a minute until it's bubbly. So I'm gonna do a little less than that. 40 seconds, because most of the honey's in there. I just added a little bit extra. So the honey is really what's gonna make this stick. You wanna make sure there's a base that makes it sticky. So one of the recipes that I showed you, the ingredient was the almond butter that made it stick. You want something that's gonna hold it together. So here's a tip. Can you guys hear me? It says it's unstable, so I just wanna make sure. Here's my tip for you. If you have not tried the date bars yet, all right. Thanks, Judy, for the thumbs up. Yes, you can do a reaction, and the thumbs up helps to know. I'm gonna take this. Okay, so I'm just gonna now, it's nice and bubbly, pour that in there. And then the good thing about these silicone bowls, they come in a set of 3, they have lids, but they don't get super hot like a glass bowl, measuring bowl would when you're microwaving things as well. I can't sometimes be bothered melting chocolate on the stove in a pot because you're stirring forever. So I love using the silicone prep bowls to melt my butter to make it quick. So they don't get super hot that you need to take an oven mitt or a tea towel to take out and then just pour it right in. So I'm just mixing that in. Now, what was I saying? Sidetracked. What was I saying before that? Do you remember? Oh, the date bars. Okay, I remembered. So if you haven't tried the date bar recipe yet that I posted, it tells you to use the food chopper. So if you have some kind of food chopper at home to chop your nuts, your like cashews or almonds, I would recommend chopping them in here versus grinding them in your food blender processor, because it grinds it all the way, which is awesome if you want that kind of texture for like a pancake recipe. If you're doing like almond flour, basically almond flour is crushed whole almonds. So you can do that in replace of a regular flour. But for the date recipe, you want chunks of your peanuts or almonds or whatever to help hold the date bars together. And the dates go according to the recipe, and it says to use a manual food processor. Again, if you use this, it's going to create a texture that is almost too smooth for this recipe. You want to have chunks for the dates. So that's my little tip on the date bar recipe, so that they hold together. And I mean, that's if you're doing it in here. If you're doing it in a stone, you can definitely do it in stoneware. Just put parchment paper down first, and then just spread your granola or whatever date bars you're doing, and then just spread it out evenly. And then once it's set in the fridge for an hour or 2 hours in the freezer, you can use a pizza cutter and cut it into squares. All right, back to the recipe. Okay, so now the next step is basically just to add in our add-ins, like whatever, up to a cup of whatever ingredients you want to add. So it says you can add like sweetened coconut, or you could do unsweetened. Chocolate chips, you could do any kind of like cranberries, like a dried cranberry. You could do some cereal, like Rice Krispies, or you could chop up some corn flakes or Cheerios. It's up to you on what you want to do. So I'm going to do a little bit, I'm going to put the chocolate chips fully in because this is going to be for my children, and you can't go wrong with chocolate. They love chocolate. So it's just a little less than a quarter cup that I'm adding in here. And then I think for a nice crunch, I'll add some Rice Krispie, because we actually had a recipe for the Rice Krispie bars that are also in this group, so you could try that one. So I'm just gonna add a bit of that. Up to a cup total is the add-ons. You could change it up according to what you want. If you're making just the chocolate bars, you could just put your toppings in here, like your coconut, your berries, whatever, pretzels crushed up, and you could just put them all in and then pour your melted chocolate right over top, and then go into the freezer and let it set. I'm using my Forky silicone spatula. So anyone watch Toy Story 4? We have these still available. So our scrapers are made of a silicone. The top is heat safe. So if you ever want to use it on your stovetop for frying or scrambling eggs or melting anything, they're awesome. They just form to the shape of your bowl and just get everything out. My kids hate that part because they like licking the bowl and the spoon, and I usually try to get as much as I can out. So it is what it is. Okay, so I'm gonna just add coconut to some of them because only my one daughter likes coconut. So I'm gonna scoop most of them into the tray, and then I'll mix up with some coconut into the bowl afterwards. Are you guys, how are you doing over there, Caroline? Awesome. We'll have to see your finished product afterwards, your fruit menu. So this is the large scoop. You could use a large or a medium. It makes it easier. You could use a spoon. It just makes it a lot easier because these just click. So that's the large one I usually use for my muffins. And so then you take your nylon flipper. If you don't have one, you could use any other nylon flipper at home that you have, or you could use your hands. It just makes it a bit stickier if you're pushing it down. So it's a lot easier if you actually just push it down at the same time. So then it looks prettier, looks neater. So you can't really see the Rice Krispies in mine, but they are in there, and it'll give a nice crunch. I know Sherry was, she did one with the green Rice Krispies for St. Patrick's Day. So that made her Rice Krispies look fun. So that's how simple this is. Very simple. It's really fun when you actually get some friends together and you actually have a workshop in your house. You know, you make up your favorite drink, whether it's like a sparkling juice with like club soda and pomegranate juice, or you have your favorite wine, you have some friends over and you just do something fun like this. We also do like chocolate, cheese, and wine parties. Just a great chance to socialize with friends. And I love the workshops where everyone can just get together and make something. So they can pre-order these trays, and then just, I would send the recipes out so they could pick the recipe they want, or I would just have the ingredients ready to go for them to come, and all they would have to do is show up, and then they would pre-order the snack bar package. So that's how that would work if we were doing something in-home live with you all together. But this is what's working right now. I think it's just something fun and neat to do. Like it's crazy how much you slow down, right? When your life is just, everything's slowing down right now, and you realize all the things that you can do that maybe you never made priority before, right? And like Caroline said, she's not much of a cook, but she loves to bake. I used to be the opposite. I loved to bake, and I would always bake with my Oma. And then when I got married, I switched from that to learning how to cook, because I'm like, who has time for baking? Like this necessity is cooking, because we got to make dinners every night, right? So I think that's how I switched. But it is fun to get back to the making of your snacks. My kids are actually been in the kitchen cooking and baking, which has kept them busy as well. And again, it wasn't something they necessarily always all made priority, but they're all getting in there. And even though it might not be a strength for one and more of a strength for another, it's enabling them to do something, a skill that they will take with them when they move on and have their own families. So yeah. Does anyone, while we do this, I'm going to put the rest with the coconut. Does anyone want to unmute and share a favorite Pampered Chef product that they have and would like to be able to share? Because I would love to hear from you guys too. Don't be all shy or I'll pick on you. I'll be a teacher. Okay, Kimberly Ritchie, I'm picking on you, teacher of all.
Good. Okay, I'll just give me like a moment.
Okay.
I'll share, but just let me think, because I have a lot of stuff that I love.
I know, right? It's hard to pick one.
Yeah.
I know, I put you on the spot. I always freeze when someone puts me on the spot. So.
Kathryn, sorry, can you repeat the question again?
So I would love for some of you to share a favorite Pampered Chef product that you own in your kitchen, if you have any Pampered Chef.
I was going to share.
Go for it, Judy.
Am I muted? Okay. I was going to say, I have always been a lover of the scrapers, the lifters, like that you get your squares out with. The metal one, am I calling it the right thing? Scraper? They call it something, you know, do they call it the spatula? That, you know, the metal spatula, the mini
serving spatula.
There you go. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I always was a huge fan of that. But I got to say, I really fell in love with the deluxe blender when I got it. And I got to say, I'm just like loving it for everything. And I don't know, it's just totally won me over. So that's
what do you love to make most in your blender, Judy?
Well, believe it or not, and I've always loved soups. And on Sundays, we would often come home from church and start making soup, but often we like travel out of town to go to our church. So it's only 20 minutes, but by the time you talk and get home, it's often like 1 o'clock and we're like beyond starving. Yeah. So then I'm like, oh, it's a good time to make soup. Well, then, you know, you start the process on the stove because, as I said, we have allergies, so there's no opening cans. And, you know, I'm making cauliflower soup, so it takes time. But we all love it. And then I would cream it in the blender. But it was a little bit at a time process, and it took a lot of time. And now it's 30 minutes. So it's awesome. We come home, you make the soup while you're getting changed, and by the time you come out, it's ready. So I'm loving that.
Awesome. You know, I have to agree with you, Judy. I love soups, but I never took the time to make soup on the stove until this landed at my door. Yeah. And like butternut squash soup, I never made because everyone says squash gross in my house, but I at least got my husband convinced. I think my oldest daughter likes it now. And I add a jalapeno in there just to give it a little bit of a kick. That's my
I bet my kids and my husband would like that too. That's a good one. Mm-hmm. A whole jalapeno?
I do. It's not too spicy, especially when you have it with homemade bread.
Oh yeah, everybody would love that. Yeah.
Which, by the way, homemade bread could be another workshop idea that we do on Zoom together if anyone wants to learn how to make homemade bread. Okay, Kimberly, you're back.
I'm back. I use this every single day. I love the apple slicer. This is one of my favorites. For squeezing lemon, lime, I use it a lot. Especially as the weather gets warmer and you make a lot more of those summer dishes with lime and stuff. But I use it a lot all year. And I do really love these that you were talking about for melting, like you said, chocolate. And I used to do that, especially white chocolate. It would burn in the microwave. And these, I've never, ever had anything burn in them, the 3 different sizes. Colin's favorite thing is definitely, well, I'm assuming, I think it's the blender. And, yeah, we make lots of smoothies with it. We've tried lots of the soups, which have been really good. And a couple nights ago, he made the nacho cheese in it.
He did make it.
He did. It was really good. Yeah.
With your pretzels?
Yes.
So you did the nacho cheese sauce in your pretzel mix that you made?
Yes, he has a video to post soon.
Oh yeah, to make sure he tags me.
Yeah, I will.
I love it.
And I also made the almond butter with it too, which was fascinating. I'm like, there's no way that it's gonna make it that smooth. I was shocked. But yeah, we both really like the blender for sure.
Oh, awesome. Yay, thanks for sharing. It's actually one of our specials for April that you can get the blender for 60% off. So it's a really amazing time to host. I find right now, like doing the online virtual parties on Facebook has been where people are at, especially now more than ever, because it gives them something to entertain themselves with. They're learning possibly a few new recipes. They're getting sick of the recipes they have in their house. And maybe it's just giving them some motivation, because let's face it, we can have our up and down days being stuck at home a little bit more than normal. And so just having a little bit of motivation by seeing some new recipe ideas or videos or playing some fun games, just to get in on all that has been really fun. And our hosts are always obviously so rewarded with the amount of products they get. And this month our hosts get an extra 50 free with just a minimum qualified show. So normally 200 is our minimum and you get 25 free. But this month you actually get 75 free when it's a minimum show of 200. So that's 4 people ordering a bar pan, and there you have it. You just got $75 in free products. And so people that maybe are on fixed incomes or not home right now, or they are home and they're not making money, like hosting, all they have to do is invite, and people can accept or not accept. Like if they choose not to join, nobody takes it personally, because it's up to them if they want to join or not. And then the host could take the free products and walk away, and that's it. And all they spend is $6 on the shipping. And I think they just announced something else about that today, but I haven't read closely on that. But that's it. They could, or if they're going to fundraise, then they forego their free products and they give back to the food banks. So there's definitely ways to host and give back, and then people feel even less like it's about them and what they get out of it. But yeah, I feel like it's really giving people a sense of feeling empowered to bring in meals, because whether you like to cook or not, we got to eat, right? So if I can give some ideas, even just on how to make simple, easy recipes to get people learning how to do these things, because we have to cook to eat, that's what I'm all about. So I'm just going to show you my finished recipe here, and we are just about out of time. So this is how it looks. What do you guys think? I don't know about Caroline, how you're doing, or about Andrea and your little fun kids over there. How is that going? I want to see.
Mine are just in the oven right now.
Okay, yeah. That's why I didn't do the bake one, because I knew it would take longer for me to show you the finished product. But Jerry, do you still have some of yours left over? Your kids ate them all.
Yeah, no, they were gone. Like
they're gone. Exactly.
But I'm gonna be getting another pan soon.
Yeah. So most recipes do. This one actually did one tray, but some of the other recipes that I got from other people, no, even some of the ones that Pampered Chef has, does more than one tray. So if you don't have more than one, and you want to grab another one, you're more than welcome. Or you could, like I said, you could put it in any other pan. The nice thing is that this locks in nicely. So it's hard to tell the ones that have the coconut, but I can see them from here. We didn't end up putting the crushed cornflakes in, but there's Rice Krispie in there on all of them. So you just push them together like so. And then you're ready to put in the fridge or the freezer, depending on what the recipe says to do. Super simple, and it's kind of fun and easy to bring. Also, like if you are going somewhere and you want to bring snacks like this along, you can easily bring just the whole tray, and then you could cut them in half and they'll go that much further. So I just wanted to thank you all for being on today's Zoom. This is my first Zoom, so thank you so much for joining. I hope you guys had fun.
Good job.
Thank you. If you want to print out these recipes that I put in the group, I do have the PDF. The JPEG pictures are in the group with the contents and all the recipes. I just like color photocopy them and put them in clear sleeves in a binder to have with me every time I want to make a snack bar from the ones that Pampered Chef gave. So if you want the PDF rather than the JPEG pictures, I'm happy to email you those as well. And I really appreciate, again, you guys taking the time to be on here today. I know we went a little over the 30 minutes, so so good to see you all and to socialize, because this is something we don't do enough of right now, right? So it's good to see other people's faces and to interact, and thank you for all those that shared. And I hope it inspires you guys to do some more baking and cooking in your kitchen. So thanks.
Thank you. Great job.
Thanks, Kathryn.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too.
Thanks, Kathryn.
Thanks.